Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but I was sitting here and I swear that said douche pizzeria and bar. And I was like, what the hell? Who would name their pizzeria douche? And then I looked closely and I'm like, oh, that's a G, not a C. It's Dough Pizzeria. I was like, who would name their pizzeria douche? Then all of a sudden, we see the owner come out and he's all, we're like, oh, that guy's a fucking douchebag, I get it. Alright, here we are. I told you, man, every location, every single location. Look at this right here. Look at this right here. We are at 8715-17. But this right here, this was World Pacific Recorders. If I'm getting that wrong, you know me, I'll put it down in the... Yeah, right here, man, this is where the Doors recorded the demo tape, the very first demo tape that they shopped around to different record companies. I'll put the date here on the bottom. That's escaping me too, because every time I come to this location I have not been to. This is my first time and it just blows me away. You know, I keep picturing Jim and Ray. At this time, Robby Krieger had not joined the group yet, but John Densmore had, and Ray had a group called Rick and the Ravens with his two brothers, Jim and... oh my god, I'm forgetting I'll put it down there. I'll put it down there. Like I'm saying, my mind is scattered right now. I get blown away and overwhelmed when I come to locations like this. Great, yeah, leave that in. But yeah, they had recorded here a couple of times, and they still had some studio time paid for. And so they, of course, well, hey, let's use that to, you know, get Jim's songs, you know, down on tape, so we can, you know, shop it around to record companies. And that was done right here. So with Ray's two brothers, Ray, of course, Jim, had to have the Jim, right? Okay, this is getting stupid, I apologize. And John Densmore, who Ray had ran into when he was going to the Maharishi meditation before the Beatles did. And so that's where John and Ray met. And so he had joined the band, but not Robby yet. And, you know, that's why you can still, I mean, the demo's good, but without Robby, you know, that Doors sound has not been cemented yet. But yeah, you can go on YouTube and look up the, you know, the Doors demo, and you can listen to the songs. All of them, which would eventually end up, you know, instead of a little snippet called Go Insane, which eventually did make it onto Waiting for the Sun when they were trying to record Celebration of the Lizard, which didn't work out, so they just did put Not to Touch the Earth on there. Oh wait, no, that wasn't on there. Anyway, it was part of a, included, you can look that up, Celebration of the Lizard, they play it live, and you can hear the Go Insanes. That was the oddball on the record. But here with this demo, I would go and check out where the Columbia Records location was, but no, we'll skip that. I know I said every location, I know, but they got signed to Columbia Records, which led them nowhere. You know, they kept asking, when are we going to be able to record? You know, when can we record an album? And they kept getting played along until they went to the office and were gonna, you know, confront the guy and be like, dude, look, if we're not going to be able to record, why don't you just, what's going on here? John Densmore was looking on his desk and happened to see a drop list of bands that were going to drop from the record, and the Doors were on that list. So they talked to him and said, hey, just let us out of the contract so we can go somewhere else. But the only good thing that came about that is they had a contract with Vox. And so they were allowed to go and get free equipment from Vox, and that's where Ray got his organ, amps, PA amps for Jim, mics and stuff like that. So some good did come out of that. But right here, that's where that demo tape was recorded, and this is going to be like a 3-hour-long video, man. But yeah, that's it. Bobby, where are we going next?
Laurel Canyon.
Laurel Canyon, let's hit it. Okay, right here, that was it right there. Are you getting it? Get this off. We're not supposed to be stopping, so we're gonna another drive-by location. Right here is 8826 Lookout Mountain. That's where Ray and Robby Krieger and John Densmore lived right there in that house, and also Jim stayed with them for a little bit as well. And one day he came to the house here, Robby recalls, and says he was really depressed. He does say he was saying he was going to commit suicide, which that doesn't sound like Jim, but that's what Robby said. And he was really depressed, so they took him up to the top of Lookout Mountain here for another significant location that we're going to show you right now. All right, bud. Yeah.
Okay.
Just like, get ready.
Right here? Or the 888 house?
How we keep. No.
Oh.
Are you filming?
Yeah.
Stop, Bubby. Here.
I can't get over the fence. Jesus Christ. I can't get over this.
Right there, look. Look down right there, get it.
Oh.
Okay, it was right here where they took Jim up here to look out over the mountain, and he, I know this is horrible to drive by, we're not supposed to be stopping here, but we're stopping for a minute. But it was right here where they left Jim. Jim kind of stayed behind when they walked back to the house, and this is where he wrote People Are Strange. Looking out down over this mountain, man. Awesome. Right, Bobby?
Yeah, as he said it himself, it was a very gloomy day he wrote that song.
This right here has absolutely nothing to do with the Doors, but man, I had to stop and get this look. Look at this shit. Seriously? Look at the creepy faces. It's got a gargoyle right there. Look at that. Dude, what weird dude lives up in this right here, man. I'm getting out of here, man. Look at this. Come on. What? What?
Those faces are...
And oh my God, here we are. Here we are at Sunset Sound, and this would be the place where the Doors recorded their first 2 albums. The first self-titled The Doors, second one Strange Days, right here, man. With legendary producer Paul Rothchild, engineer Bruce Botnick. So many albums recorded right here, Bubby. And one of my favorite stories is, I don't know if you can see that, walk around front, there's a bit of an epidemic here, probably of the coronavirus and of the homeless situation in California. Is just, something needs to be done. Someone needs to get off their ass and help. It's just costs way too much. Okay, I'm going off topic, but right there, man, Sunset Sound Studios. And like I said, one of the funniest stories is they just got done recording And Jim was tripping on acid, which was kind of normal then, at the time in '67, before he, you know, got onto the alcohol. Bubby, come here.
My legs hurt really bad.
But he was freaking out, and all of a sudden he thought, you know, I have to go back. I have to go back, man. So he came back, and when he came in, he swore like the studio was on fire, and they were gonna destroy, you know, all the recordings that they had just gotten, you know, for the first song. So he took a fire extinguisher, and he sprayed down the whole place, right? And then he hopped back over the fence. Paul Rothchild came in the next day, and right here in the fence, man, he found Jim's boot. He found his shoe, his boot right here in the fence, and he knew. When he came in, they're like, man, somebody broke in and took a fire extinguisher, you know, and just sprayed down and just ruined like thousands of dollars of equipment, right? And Paul knew who it was. He's like, hey, you didn't say anything. He's like, you just send the bill to Electra, we'll cover it. And what really happened is when, you know, when everything was closed and the lights turned out, there was like an emergency light, you know, that kind of stays on. The light bulb was red. So Jim was tripping out. It was shining like a red light because the light bulb was red. And he thought the studio was on fire and just completely hosed it down, man. That's hilarious, but man.
Christ.
Janis Joplin recorded Pearl here. Again, Paul Rothchild was the producer of that.
He was the producer of like all the
Zeppelin recorded here. I mean, just the list goes on and on. You can look them up. But yeah, the very first two Doors records recorded right here, man. This is awesome. Man, it'd be cool to go up in there. In the front, it used to be open. Bobby, water. Hello. Front, get the logo right there. You see it? Sunset Sound. See, it's all walled up now. It used to be open, but I would have walked around to film the front of that, but. All right, Bubby is in the car. He is cold, but I had to come out and get this, man. There's the address, 2619, which is now ZJ's boarding house. But back in the day, this was Olivias, where all the UCLA students would come and eat because the portions were really big. It was cheap. And of course, one of the regulars here was none other than Jim Morrison, man. It was an old Southern lady cooking the food, so you know that shit was good. Almost ran right into that. But here it is. I had to stop by real quick and show you Olivia's, man. And she only served through certain times, and when it was time to close, she'd be like, you better shovel that shit in, it's time to close up. And so that's what, you know, Jim immortalized this place in the song Soul Kitchen. You know, the clock says it's time to close. Let me sleep all night in your soul kitchen. Warm my mind by your gentle stove. Great lyrics in that song, man. Cars crawl past all stuffed with eyes. Street lights shed their hollow glow. Your brain seems bruised with numb surprise. Still one place to go. Right here to Olivia's Soul Kitchen. Awesome. I don't know why I just turned into a big gay owl from South Park just then, but there we go. Olivia's Soul Kitchen. It's horrible, man. Oh my God, but here it is right here. Back in the 60s, this was the Village Recorder. This is where Jim Morrison, on his 27th birthday, came and recorded his poetry. He wanted to have his poetry down on record. Oh my God, dude. I had to stop and get out on this one. Yeah, right here, man. It's the Village Recorder. And those recordings of his poetry, they later made into an album, and it came out the year I was born, in 1978, entitled An American Prayer, and it made won a lot of awards. I think now it's, I don't know, it says Masonic Temple right there. Yeah, but right in there, man, they got him a big bottle of Bushmills, and he asked Frank and his wife Kathy, who was the secretary for the Doors, at the Doors workshop, their offices that we showed earlier, and his friend Alan Ronay, another good friend of his. He invited them all along, and yeah, it was on his 27th birthday. He recorded his poetry here. Very, very, very cool, man. Oh God, I gotta edit that out, right? That's my. Oh my God. Right in there, right through those doors, man. And this was his passion, you know. His poetry, that meant a lot to him, you know. Like I said before, he turned into, you know, like a sex symbol. He was in the little Tiger Beat, you know. They had him in the magazines and all that, and people, you know, they weren't taking him seriously, you know, listening to his words, you know, his poetry. They weren't taking him seriously, and he hated that. And I think that, you know, that was the beginning of him getting tired of it, you know. He grew out the beard. He wanted to ditch that whole persona. And he finally said, you know, screw it, I'm going to Paris. And that's all I'm going to do is write poetry. But this was it, and I know it meant a lot to him, you know. You know it meant a lot to him. You're a Doors fan if you're watching this. That's it, the Village Recorder, man. And if you do, pick up an American Prayer and listen to that. It's a really good album. All right.